What's up, guys? It's Chris, but I'm on Codebreaker today.
What?
We've been having so much fun hosting each other's shows that I wanted to feel important. And fun fact, I'm the first person to be on the Codebreaker besides CODY in August.
Yes.
I was beginning to think they didn't like me, which is fair enough. So we've had this fun little...
Chris, you have such a nice name.
I do have a nice name. We've been talking about our favorite things of 2017, and we covered movies, and now we're covering the video games. You may notice that CODY has his cappy on, so I put on my Fallout hat so he can't possess me, because once is enough for me. So
That's thinking.
it is thinking. So, CODY, how are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. I'm on the Codebreaker.
I know.
I know.
It's a wonderful thing.
So mark your calendars.
It's a very exclusive list.
It is.
It includes two people. Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like the second man to walk on the moon, or something like that. Anyways, so video games.
Yes.
We love them. We play them. We've sold them. We've bought them. We haven't made them that I'm aware of. So 2017 has come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know. Our fans want to know. The world wants to know. What are your top 3 games?
My top 3 favorite games.
Number 3.
This was actually kind of difficult because there weren't a whole lot of games that really took my breath away in 2017.
Breath, you say?
Yes. I know we're getting a little wild.
We are.
But I think I don't want to put this in any kind of order this time around, so I'm going to start with this guy, Mario Odyssey. I freaking loved this game. I had a lot of fun with it. And it was really all because of nostalgic purposes, because the N64, Mario 64, is still one of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah.
That's a game, and to me, my definition of an all-time favorite is I have to play it at least every 3 to 4 months. And Mario is one that I like to go through. And now, kind of in my older years, what I've kind of gotten into is going back and playing the game, but figuring out game-breaking glitches and little quicker ways to go through it. Not really trying to set any records, but just to a new fun way to unleash it. And it's gotten some new challenges, just with the fans. There's, for example, the Green Devil challenge, which is really cool. It's the whole idea of playing Mario 64, because when you get a free man, it'll follow you, and you got to hit the free man at the beginning of the stage, and then finish the stage without the free man touching you.
That's pretty cool.
So it's just little challenges that. Those little challenges have followed into the Switch era. Is like with Breath of the Wild, you have to have 2 controllers, so it's if I had a controller and you had a controller, and we got to make not a convoluted mess of the character,
Yeah.
Then we got to work together to get this plane landed, that is Link, the U.S. Link,
The USS Link.
yes. But no, so Mario Odyssey, it played just like a sequel to Mario 64. The story was just it was just a weird, kooky Mario story, but it really wasn't weighed down with a lot of dialogue. It really wouldn't. It was just hey, Bowser's trying to be a pimp and marry the princess against her will, and she's using one of these hats. So, and it was hey, here come the hats. So, yeah. And Bowser is one of my. I think he, out of the Nintendo Mario world, he is one of my top 10 favorite Nintendo characters. Yeah. If we ever did a list on that. Samus being number 1, Bowser being number 2. Yeah, so with Bowser, spoiler alert, at one point one of these things gets on Bowser's head. So, I mean, for the first time ever, well, not the first time ever, but on a console game, you get to play as Bowser for the first time since Super Mario RPG, which made me love Bowser so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that game is awesome. It's weird, it's crazy. Sometimes you're helping little snowman people, sometimes you're helping little just robot boomboxes, sometimes you're helping men in business suits. You never know what you're going to get. And I loved the whole, like, once you finish the game, you can take on all the bosses in, like, a much harder difficulty.
And it is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Like, good gravy. Yeah.
Yeah, and all the bosses are, like, so not Mario bosses. Like, they're these robotic messes of bosses, and they're just really, really cool. I love that game so much. So.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Yes.
All right, so number 2.
Number 2 was kind of difficult to think of.
Sometimes it can be.
Yes. You got to work it out sometimes.
Yeah. Who does number 2 work for?
I watched that movie last night. I'm going to go a little bit weird, and I'm going to go ahead and say Blaster Master 0.
All right.
Which was a digital game on the Switch. Love, again, nostalgic, dang near 34 years old. You know, so like all my loves for Nintendo is all going to be based on nostalgia. When I first got a Switch, when I very first hooked it up, you know, I just looked on the console to see like what games will be released. And right there, like, it said Blaster Master.
Yeah.
I loved Blaster Master when I was a kid. There was no advertisement on it. I didn't see a commercial. I didn't see a trailer. I was just like, do they know they're making a Blaster Master game? You know, like, I felt like no one knew about it. Like, someone had just put that on there just for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I got the game, and it was a terrific game. It was an amazingly good game. And then, you know, they really kind of did me another favor because they put there's this game on 3DS called Gunvolt, and they're coming out with a Gunvolt 1 and 2 for the Switch, but Gunvolt is made by the guys who made Mega Man X, so I gotta show it love.
Well, of course.
And the only reason I bring that up is the first DLC you got for free on Blaster Master is you could switch to the character from Gunvolt. You know, so it was just a weird pairing. But yeah, like a lot of the fun I've been having with my Switch is all the digital games.
Yeah, there are a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
Like a ton of them.
Yeah, so I mean, Double Dragon 4 is my next one to get. I mean, come on. Awesome. Yeah, so, but yeah, Blaster Master 0, just, I'm really, really happy about that game.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know they added Pro Controller support to it recently, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how recent is. It's been a while now, but
yeah,
dude, it was a surprisingly fun game.
Yes,
so really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. All right, Cody.
How much time do we got?
We got all the time in the world for you, sir. So number 1.
Okay, again, I'm gonna try to keep the cap on this, but you got to understand when I talk about this franchise, it's like trying to keep a cap on a Diet Coke that I just dropped a bunch of Mentos into.
Okay.
Yes.
Weird product placement, but all right.
But I don't know if you know this about me, but I love Berserk.
What?
Whoa.
Mic drop. Hi, Mike. You just got dropped. Yeah. Tear, I love you. But one thing I always wanted was a Dynasty Warriors type Berserk game. That completely played into what Berserk is just killing tons and tons of monsters, being overwhelmed with enemies, and doing it all with a giant sword, a cannon arm, and a repeating crossbow, you know? And I got that. Like, I didn't think I was going to get that ever. I thought that was just a pipe dream. You know, but then E3 rolled around, and we sat there and watched it, and then this quick trailer pops up for a game called Berserk. And, like, at the time, it was only called Berserk. Mm-hmm. And there have been other games called Berserk, so I was just like, oh, cool, they used the name of my favorite thing. Yeah. You know, and they're just using the name. But then we see, you know, not a white girl, because I don't really know what Casca is, but she's not supposed to be white. But she's all in a torture rack, and then you see the brand, and I was just like, what? And it's Berserk, and it's the Berserk logo, and it was called like Berserk Musu, which is like Dynasty Warriors is like Musu something. And then, lo and behold, you know, I bought it, imported it from Japan because, you know, there's no region lock on the PS4. Yeah. And played through all of it, and it was kind of like, you know, a comic book that it was like you reading Dark Knight in another language. Like, you don't need it to. It doesn't matter if it's in German. You know what's happening.
Yeah, I know.
You know, you could fill in like the entire dialogue. Really, you know, or like Identity Crisis. Like reading that in Japanese,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, do you want me to read it to you?
I'll just go through it for you.
Yeah. You know, like, or like explaining it to a blind person, be like, oh, do you have the book? No, I don't need the book. Yeah, so, I mean, like, it was all in Japanese, but, dude, I know the story. I could tell the entire story. Not today, because we don't have 10 hours to go, because I will go on and on and on.
But if you want to hear him do that, let us know in the comments below.
Yes, let's talk Berserk.
Yeah.
Because I get to do that constantly, but...
But not on YouTube.
Yeah, not in like a place where I can annoy someone I don't know with it. Yeah, lo and behold, it came out in America as Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, which is, you know, kind of a weird title. You know, I kind of thought it was a weird title.
Now, does the title, like, mean anything in the context of the story?
Yes, the Band of the Hawk is the mercenary group that it just kind of starts with.
Okay.
Is, you know, his very first mercenary group is, you know, called the Band of the Hawk. But I don't know how to how I would actually say that. It would be like if the new G.I. Joe movie was going to be called G.I. Joe and Snake Eyes. Like saying like G.I. Joe, that makes it seem like G.I. Joe is there's a character named G.I. Joe and his buddy Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
You know, so Berserk and the Band of the Hawk seems like it's like featuring the band. I guess that was the point. You know, but it was one thing that was weird is it didn't have the word warriors in it. You know, even you know the Zelda game was Hyrule Warriors. You know, to like put the little Dynasty Warriors sign on it. But it was just Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, dude, and it was just everything I wanted in a Berserk video game. You know, it was kind of like, you know, when the Arkham games came out. It's like this is. It's not like it's not the perfect game per se, but it's like exactly what a Batman game needs to be, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what Berserk was for me. It was like this is exactly what this game needs, and it's actually getting it. I don't care if I'm the only one that ever buys it. Like I feel like they just made a game and sent it to my house.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, those are my big three.
Well, those are three good choices.
Thank you.
Any honorable mentions you want to mention honorably?
Breath of the Wild, you're going to be hearing that thrown about. I love that game. I like the more narrative based, but it was kind of fun to be like, hey, Ganon's awake. He killed the crap out of you, but you know you're back. So you know, all right,
Get to it. Chop, chop.
Yeah.
There's a stick. It'll break in 2 seconds, but you'll beat him with it.
And he's up there, and he's got Zelda already. Like, you tried to do something. You actually already tried to do something, and he killed the snot out of you. So you know, go give it. Here's looking at you, kid. Give it a second go. Had a lot of fun with that. DC fan, so and I love the Injustice storyline in the comics. So like Injustice 2. I love seeing where that story was going, and again to see Superman kind of in that universe kind of become a good guy, but just ultimately go back to being evil again.
Yeah.
We got another Mega Man Legacy collection, but I mean it really was. It was kind of like all the kind of Mega Man games, so it wasn't that great of a collection. Some of them, Destiny 2, I play it a lot. I can honestly say I play it a lot. I don't know if I'd say it's one of my favorites, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of games I could talk about. One that, like, didn't really make the list because I didn't really feel appropriate was the game Neo. I didn't even finish Neo, but playing that ended up... I remember looking stuff up about it, and I heard, like, someone refer to Neo as Dark Souls on easy mode. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, well, this is Dark Souls on easy mode. Maybe I can get through Dark Souls. And ended up getting into Dark Souls, and yeah, I became one of those guys that like really likes Dark Souls, but only Dark Souls 3. You know? But that was the kind of, like, I wouldn't have discovered that without Neo coming out first, you know? So, like, it's kind of like an honorable mention because it went from one thing and led me to an older game, but, you know, like, I mean, it was still an okay game.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, those are some good choices. I like what you've been playing. So, I mean, it's your show. I'm going to let you show the guests out, and I'm going to sit here and sport my Nuka-Cola hat.
Oh, I was going to do a thing.
You were, but
Yeah.
you can't now.
Yeah.
That's on.
I am going to lead the show out.
Hi, I'm Cody. I mean, I'm Chris. I mean, I don't know who I am anymore. Who am I?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Chris, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me, man. I'll have
For
to come
sure.
back, and I'll bring snacks next time. You know,
You should.
Yeah.
Snacks are always appreciated.
Yeah.
And never turned down.
true story.
But yeah, you need to play this game. You need to play the other games. Let us know what you think. What are games that you'd like to see? What are some shows that you like or something that you're really into that you would like to see made a video game of? What kind of video game would it be? I could go on a whole other thing about that. Is like, what some games... I think it'd be awesome to see video games based on wrestling characters, but like their actual character. Like Undertaker. Like his whole life story as the Undertaker. Him like fighting evil and like what he's doing when he's not in the ring. Like, I think that'd be fun.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like to see a movie about Kane like burning down an orphanage or whatever that storyline's supposed to be.
Outro.
I'm sorry.
Hang on, hard left.
That's what I do, baby. That's
Just
what I do.
blew my mind about that.
But let's let's wrap it up there. Check us out on Facebook.com/quartercows. You can check out our other shows, which is the Chris Chronicles, August Omega. We got a few other shows coming down the rabbit hole. Yep, that's down the rabbit hole. Watership Down.
Jeez.
Now we're gonna get a little morbid. So, but give us some subscribes so we don't have to have like youtube.com/*court/$fish and all that, like, so we can get down to like youtube.com/quartercows, because that would be an awesome title. And then we're gonna have shirts someday and stickers.
Shirts and stickers.
Yep. That's how we know we'll make it.
Yeah, you've made it when you have a shirt and a sticker.
And/or stickers.
Yeah.
You're not popular unless you're on someone's bumper. It's just the way it is.
You're not wrong. I mean, the truth is the truth.
So I'll stop rambling now. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, guys.